UFC 326, Holloway vs Oliveira 2, the rematch for the BMF title. This is going to be my quick picks and my quick predictions for this banger main event and the entire card. We're going to go from the early prelim to the main event. I'm going to this card live next weekend. I'm very excited. This is my favorite fighter, Charles Oliveira, obviously, versus another one of my favorite fighters, Max Holloway. It's a tough one for sure, but I'm very excited for this card. Before we go ahead and get into the quick picks, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get it started with the early prelim opener of Luke Fernandez versus Rodolfo Bellato opens up this numbered event, and it is a solid fight to open it up. I would say a barn burner, a fight where they're going to be throwing hands. These boys are going to be throwing hands. I don't think we're going to be seeing crazy takedowns in this fight. I think this is going to be on the feet. I think these guys are going to be winging big, powerful punches, big light heavyweights. Luke Fernandez, undefeated. You know, he did well on Dana White Contender Series, literally got like a 10-second knockout or something, so we don't know much about him. But Rodolfo Bellato, we've seen the flukester, Rodolfo Gelato, man. Fluke his way out of getting knocked out a couple times. You know, we saw it with Paul Craig. He got kicked in the face and then went unconscious. The acting skills were absolute peak. It was absolute peak. The acting skills were perfect. But now he's fighting Luke Fernandez, who is a guy with big, powerful hands, dangerous. You know, we haven't seen much about him. I looked at some of his tape study, and to be honest, I wasn't that impressed. I wasn't. He's going to have to prove in this fight that he deserves to be in the UFC, because I'm going to go with Rodolfo Gelato. I'm going with Rodolfo Bellato, the flukester himself, the actor himself, because I do believe that he can thug out that first round. That's the only place where I believe that Rodolfo needs to be careful, is that first round where Luke Fernandez is explosive. He's dangerous. Almost all of his wins are by first round knockout. So Rodolfo's got to be careful, but he's the bigger guy. We've seen that his chin is pretty good. It's held up for the most part against guys like Navajo Sterling, you know, guys like Jimmy the Brute Crute. You know, he went to a draw with Jimmy Crute, and honestly, I rate that, because I think Jimmy Crute runs through the bottom of the barrel light heavyweights like Luke Fernandez. I think Jimmy Crute would maul Luke Fernandez. So I'm going to go with Rodolfo Bellato. You know, as an underdog, as the early pick, I'm going to go with Rodolfo Bellato to win this fight. And I'm going to say he wins this fight by comeback, ground and pound TKO in like the second or third, after he's been getting whooped up in the early rounds, or in the early round, you know, has some bruising, has some beating on him. And then Luke Fernandez kind of gasses out, and Rodolfo makes a little comeback, a little cockroach max from Rodolfo Bellato. So I'm going to go with Rodolfo Bellato as the quick pick by late TKO. Let's move on, though, to the next fight. Jusang Yu versus Gaston Bolanos. This is not Jusang Yu versus Gaston Bolanos. Of course, the UFC website has not updated it. It's actually Jung Young Lee versus Gaston Bolanos. Jung Young Lee hasn't fought in a while. He fought at UFC 315 last. I watched that fight live. I was there in Montreal, so I guess I'm going to see this dude twice. Don't really want to, because he's bad, man. I think Jung Young Lee is bad. I don't think he should be in the UFC. I'm going to go with Gaston Bolanos. He's already been scheduled for this card. I think Jung Young Lee struggles with good boxers. We saw that when he struggled against Santos. Daniel Santos. He struggled with the boxing of Daniel Santos. And I think Gaston Bolanos is the way better kickboxer than Jung Young Lee. We've seen that he just throws wild. He doesn't throw clean, technical punches. Gaston Bolanos is the one that's going to be doing that. Ilya Toptoro, you know, Gaston Bolanos. I'm kind of sad, because I wanted to see Jusang Yu live. I think I would have picked Jusang Yu to beat Gaston Bolanos, but I think Gaston Bolanos beats Jung Young Lee. So I'm going to go with Gaston Bolanos by decision. Jung Young Lee is an absolute blockhead. He's very tough to finish. So I'm going to go Gaston Bolanos by decision, 29-28. We move on. Sumadorji versus Jesus Aguilar. One of the longest reaches and one of the tallest flyweights versus one of the shortest with one of the shortest reach flyweight. Very goofy matchup. Very, very goofy matchup. I feel like people are going to be like 50-50 on this, because either you're full on the guy, the super long, tall, lengthy striker, or you're up with the little blocky Jesus Aguilar, who's got a nasty power guillotine. It's a tough one. This is a tough one, and I'm gonna go Sumadorji though. I was trying to think of, could Jesus low-key pull off a guillotine? He could. We saw what's his name? Holy crap, what's his name? The absolute the chinniest flyweight finished Sumadorji by submission. Matt Schnell. Matt Schnell finished Sumadorji by submission, so why can't Jesus Aguilar? I don't think Sumadorji is going to duck his head into a guillotine. He's too tall. I think he as long as he stands straight up and he holds a very strong stance, I don't think Jesus can find a guillotine on Sumadorji. You know, Jesus has had some nice little shots of, or glimpses of, you know, kind of glory, if you want to call it that, against Katsuro Taira. Almost pulled off that guillotine, you know, but I think Sumadorji is just going to jab at him at range and probably just 29-28 him. So I'm going to go Sumadorji by decision, way longer. Just going to be able to pop the jab, use the kicks. He did it against Kevin Boras, who is much quicker and much more dangerous than Jesus Aguilar and is also much bigger. So I'm going to go with Sumadorji to just get a 29-28, maybe 30-27 here. Just longer, uses that jab nicely, uses the kicks to stay at range. I think Jesus is going to struggle with the range. So give me Sumadorji as the quick pick by decision. We move on to Cody Durden versus Nyamjargal Tumendembero. Holy mouthful of a name, man. Nyamjargal Tumendembero. I got it, boys. I got it. Dude, if this doesn't scream a classic Cody Durden decision, I don't know what does, man. I'm going Cody Durden. By decision, all right? I think Nyamjargal could finish him. Don't get me wrong, he definitely could. We've seen Durden just get finish after finish, back to back now. He's getting old. His chin is deteriorated. One nice shot from Nyamjargal or a Darce or an Anaconda and it's probably wraps. But I kind of see a Cody Durden decision here. I kind of see him using his range, popping that jab. He was doing it really nice against a prospect that I highly rate in Alan Nascimento on short notice. He was whooping him up. Now, I knew Alan was going to get that sub eventually, but he was piecing him up, and Cody looked really good on short notice. The jab was money. The stick and move, the pressure was money. He was looking really good, and I rate Alan Nascimento. It took Nascimento a while to clip Durden, put him down, and then find that Anaconda. And I don't think Nyamjargal is near the level of Alan Nascimento. So I think we're going to see a Cody Durden who's coming out here hungry to get back in the win column. He's on a 3-fight losing streak right now. He needs this win badly. And I think he's going to jab the face off of Nyamjargal. We saw Nyamjargal struggle against a guy in Carlos Hernandez who's terrible. Carlos Hernandez is terrible. And he struggled heavily with Hernandez. He had some flash moments where he dropped him. And I think he will drop Durden at some point. But will he flatline knock out Cody Durden? I don't think so. So I'm going to go Cody Durden to win this fight. Decision, bounce back fight. Uses his jab, works off his jab, sticks moves, kind of like the breakdown of Sumadorji versus Jesus Aguilar. But I do think Durden is just going to use his experience, his vet skills to scrap off and pull off a nice little scrappy victory here by decision. So give me Cody Durden as the quick pick by decision. We move on. Ricky Turcios versus Alberto Montez, man. I can't pick Ricky Turcios in the big 2026. I can't do it. Give me Alberto Montez to win this fight. If you guys haven't seen Montez on the Dana White Contender Series, he had a very game opponent who just pressured him nonstop. And rewatching that fight, I love that. Because he dealt with the pressure really well, had good counter striking, was able to get the takedowns multiple times, stuffed the takedowns of his opponent, and use that Darce and Anaconda choke that he's really good at to scare his opponent and get him to strike with him, and then eventually got him to the ground once he was tired from pressuring Montez, and then Montez wrapped up the Anaconda, finished him really nicely. So I'm going to go with Alberto Montez to win this fight. I just think Ricky Turcios, he has that pressure that Alberto Montez's Dana White Contender Series opponent did have, but he doesn't have any power. He doesn't have any finishing capabilities, which is what you need, I think, to beat Montez. I think you need a one-shot knockout because he's been knocked out before. I just don't see Turcios doing that. So give me Montez by submission. I think he's going to finish Ricky Turcios on the ground after Turcios just keeps pressuring, gets himself caught in either a Darce or an Anaconda choke, because I'm telling you, Alberto Montez's Darce and his Anaconda are really nasty. He wraps him up really nicely, kind of like Saeed wraps up that guillotine, like immediately. It's like it's in the back of his mind, the second you're shooting a takedown, the second you get in clinch, he's gonna be looking for hooks with his arm. He's gonna be looking for a Darce or an Anaconda. So give me Alberto Montez by submission in round 1 or round 2. I think he gets it done early. We move on. Dante Johnson. No, it's Dante Johnson. What are we talking? Dante Johnson versus Dusko Todorovic. It is not Dusko Todorovic, man. The UFC needs to lock in. It's Dante Johnson versus the GOAT, Cody Brundage, boys. Yo, Cody Brundage coming in here short notice against Dante Johnson. You're cooked, buddy. Cody, it's it. Pack your bags, bud. It's time to retire, all right? Cody Brundage is coming in on short notice against Dante Johnson, who won his Dana White Contender Series at heavyweight by knockout. You're cooked. It's wraps. Brundage, it's wraps, brother. It's wraps. Why are you taking this fight? I know this is your last opportunity, but it's wraps. Give me Dante Johnson by round 1. Brutal fucking knockout. Flatline knockout. It's over. All right. Cody Brundage just wraps. It's done. It's over. Just pack your bags, bud. Okay. He fought at UFC 325 against the lengthy Cam Rouston. Got finished in the second round. I'm shocked he didn't get finished in the first, but Rouston's not even like a one-shot knockout dude. He ground and pound TKO'd Brundage. Brundage just quit. And here against Dante Johnson, short notice. Johnson's got massive power. He's big at 185. Like I said, he fought it at heavyweight just because he wanted to fight on Dana White Contender Series and bombed his opponent at heavyweight. Now he's at 185 fighting Cody Brundage, a chinny-ass Cody Brundage. I think he's going to finish him in the first. So give me Dante Johnson, round one knockout, quick pick, easy. No question about it. We move on. Cody Garbrandt versus Zhao Long, man. Cody Garbrandt, fuck. Oh, I want to pick Cody Garbrandt, but it's so tricky. It's so tricky because Zhao Long has a lot of experience. He's very difficult, very durable as well. Very, very hard to finish. Zhao Long finished Quang Li recently. I think his last fight he lost, but Cody Garbrandt just has looked like shit. I mean, look at his tats. If this isn't like the look of a man who's just like trying to change things, it's just like, I don't know what to say. I'm going to go Zhao Long to win this fight. I do think Cody Garbrandt's the better fighter, skill for skill, but he just can't be trusted. He shit the bed against Raoni Barcelos, who obviously Barcelos is good, but didn't look good against Barcelos. Obviously got finished by Figgy. He just hasn't looked good. And he just doesn't have that fire in him anymore. The tattoos are a big reason why. Just look at him, and you can just tell that he doesn't care about the sport anymore. So I'm gonna go Zhao Long. He's got a lot of experience, more experience than Garbrandt. He's been on road to UFC a lot. He's been now in the UFC for a little bit. So I'm gonna go Zhao Long to win this fight by decision, close decision though. I think it's gonna be a scrap. It's gonna be a fun fight. Could be fight of the night. If Garbrandt does throw down, but I'm going to go Zhao Long by decision to win this one as the quick pick. We move on to the main card. Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Ferreira opens up this main card. This is a banger fight. This is a banger fight, and this is like a BMF card fight. And I like this fight because it's a rematch. And, with rematches, they don't always go the same way. They don't. Bruno Ferreira flatline KO'd Gregory Rodriguez in their first fight in Brazil. His literal UFC debut. He flatline KO's RoboCop. Insane performance. Big right hand, straight down the pipe, finishes Rodriguez, just one shot KO, wraps. And everybody had Rodriguez in that fight after he whooped up Chidi Njokuani, after his split forehead. Everybody was high on Rodriguez, and Bruno Ferreira shut that shit down. So I'm a big fan of Bruno Ferreira, but I do think Gregory Rodriguez has made some solid improvements. And with this rematch, it's like, will Gregory Rodriguez grapple? Will he go in there and just try to grapple up Bruno Ferreira, tire him out, because that's what Abus Magomedov did. That's what guys do to beat Bruno Ferreira. You got to grapple with him. You need to tire him out. When you're striking at distance with Bruno Ferreira, he's actually sneaky good. Even though he's got T-Rex arms and he's very short for the division, he's a really good striker. We just saw him outstrike Marvin Vettori with his overhand rights and stuff. Obviously, he couldn't finish Vettori because Vettori's a straight-up blockhead. But Bruno Ferreira looked really good just striking at distance with Vettori, who's got a better 1-2 than him and got a better jab and a better 1-2-3, 1-1, 1-2-3, 1-2-2, so he beat Vettori. Vettori, looked good doing it. And Gregory Rodriguez is coming off that win over Roman Kopylov. Looking good as well in the striking, a little bit of clinch work. Like, Rodriguez has been mixing it up a lot more, and I kind of like that, and I think he can do that here. It's just, will he get pulled into a firefight? Will he get pulled into another right hand? I don't know. But I'm going to go with Gregory Rodriguez to win this fight. I like Bruno Ferreira. I'm going to be rooting for Bruno Ferreira. He's one of my favorite middleweights right now. But I think Gregory Rodriguez is going to mix up the grappling. That's the big thing here. I think he's not going to mistake what he did in the first fight. He's not going to overlook Bruno Ferreira's power. He knows what it is now. He's ate that big right hand and he went to sleep. So I think Rodriguez is going to grapple. I think he's going to tire out Bruno Ferreira after the first round. And I think he's going to finish him in the late round 2, early round 3. So give me Gregory Rodriguez by TKO. Late round 2, early round 3, after he's tired out Bruno Ferreira with some grappling. He's going to be my quick pick. We move on to the next fight, Drew Dober versus Michael Johnson. I guess I can't open this. Yeah, I guess I can't open that. Drew Dober is coming back, boys. This is a comeback spot for Drew Dober. This is peak racial motivation for Drew Dober. This is hood killer Drew Dober we're about to see, boys. This is generational stuff. They've matched him up against Michael Johnson in probably the most favorable matchup of his entire career. Give me Drew Dober to absolutely starch out Michael Johnson live. I'm going to see him starch him out live. Drew Dober is going to bring that racial motivation, and he is going to knock out Michael Johnson in the first round. I'm telling you guys. Drew Dober got a good bounce back fight in Vancouver. I saw him live at that fight night. Brendan Allen versus RDR, that fight night there in Vancouver. He beat the Canadian guy. Looked pretty good doing it. He got a point removed, and then he just dug his heels down and just bit down the mouth guard and just fucking bombed away. He just bombed away and got the finish. So Drew Dober had a nice bounce back there, and now he's fighting Michael Johnson, who's on a win streak, who's going to be the favorite in this one. But if you forget, Drew Dober, racially motivated Drew Dober, is built different. And he's about to make a comeback here against Michael Johnson. This is peak racial motivation from Drew Dober. Guaranteed. So give me Drew Dober as the quick pick. Nothing else to say. I'm taking Drew Dober by knockout. Round 1, round 2. I think he's going to find that chin of Michael Johnson. We've seen guys just bomb Johnson out cold. We've seen Ferreira do it. We've seen Emmett do it. I think Drew Dober is literally just going to slam a huge right hand on Michael Johnson and put him to sleep. So give me Drew Dober by knockout as the quick pick. We move on to the feature fight. How is this the feature fight, man? This is what I'm saying, dude. I'm going to come out with a video soon about the Paramount era, how it's changing the matchmaking, how it's changing these cards, because it's not looking good, boys. It's not. But Rob Font versus Raul Rosas Jr. Chiwiwis in action, looking for a ranked opponent here with Rob Font. And I'm not buying it. Give me Rob Font. Rob Font is going to smoke Raul Rosas Jr., okay? I'm a huge fan of Rob Font. He trains in Montreal. He trains in Canada. But he's a great striker. And even though he didn't look good against Martinez is fast. He's a solid striker. He's in, he's out, he's blitzing, you know? And Raul Rosas Jr. just isn't that. We haven't seen any hands from Raul Rosas Jr. Unless he can literally Khamzat Chimaev smudge Rob Font, I don't see him winning this fight, and I don't see him doing that. Because we saw him go to a literal close fight with Vince fucking Morales less than a year ago. So I'm going to go with Rob Font. That, you know, he's got the skills. He's fought the best of the best. He's been at the top of the division. He's been ranked number 5, number 4 before. You know, he's been so close to that title before. And I don't think those abilities are just going to be tossed out the window. I've been looking at his Instagram, I've been looking at his videos and stuff, and he looks dialed. He looks really dialed. Looked like he had a really good training camp. And this is the type of fight where Rob Font gets a knockout. Is this not the type of fight where Rob Font absolutely chins Chiwiwis? I see it. So I'm going to go Rob Font to win this fight by knockout. I'm not even going to overlook this one. A lot of people are going to be picking Raul Rosas Jr., but I really think Rob Font is just going to have the experience edge. The vet is going to come out, and he's just going to smoke up Raul Rosas Jr. for 3 rounds. So I'm going to go Rob Font. I'm going to say he wins a knockout. He gets a knockout over Chiwiwis late in the fight, but he could also just get a clear decision, stuff the takedowns, keep it on the feet. The striking isn't even fucking close. It's not even close. I mean, what does Raul Rosas Jr. have on the feet that could stun Rob Font? Nothing. He doesn't have anything. So I'm going to go Rob Font to win this fight, probably by decision. But don't be surprised if he knocks out Chiwiwis with a little uppercut or a little overhand right. You know he's done it to some of these guys that aren't ready for the top 15. I don't think Raul Rosas Jr. is. So give me Rob Font to win this fight by decision or by knockout as the quick pick. We move on to the co-main event. Caio Borralho versus Reinier de Ridder, RDR. Oh, man, RDR. Let me down in Vancouver. Fucking let me down in Vancouver, all right? I was there live. Absolutely gassed out against Brendan Allen. Looked absolutely terrible. I was booing like crazy. I was pissed, man, because I was on the RDR hype train, and I kind of still am, but we got to see an improved cardio here for RDR. This is a 3-round fight. It's not 5 rounds. I feel like it should be, to be honest, because this is like both these guys are high-level middleweights nearing the top 5, where they're going to be in 5-round main events and 5-round co-mains, fight nights, and all this. Caio Borralho's coming off that loss to Nasruddin Imavov, got outstruck, just outpointed, kind of whooped up after Mauricio Rufy got destroyed by BSD. So I'm not going to take too much from Caio Borralho's loss. Also, Imavov's ranked number 1. He's going to be fighting for the belt next. And Reinier de Ridder lost to Brendan Allen on short notice. Not the best look. Really not. But he also fought 4 times in 1 year. Took no breaks. He was constantly booked. I swear after he'd win a fight, he'd be booked within a month. You know, he won that fight against Bo Nickel, was booked with Whitaker a week later. You know, Whitaker was booked with Hernandez like 2 weeks later. And then Hernandez pulled out. He fought Allen. But Reinier de Ridder was constantly fighting. It was a bit too much, you know? So now he's slowed down. He's working on his cardio. He's working on his body because it's very important to keep your body healthy. You can't just keep getting in there. We saw with Merab, you know, kept getting in there in 5-round fights and big fights, and it just didn't work. He got whooped up by Petr Yan. So that does play a factor in it. And based on that fact, I'm going to say that Reinier de Ridder is going to have better cardio here. He's going to be able to push a pace for 3 rounds. He's not going to break within the first 2 rounds like he did against Brendan Allen and look gassed out. I don't think he's going to hold bottom position. I think he's the way better grappler between the two of these guys. Caio Borralho's, who's he out-grappled? Mikhail Oleksiejczuk? You know? So I think Reinier de Ridder is the way better grappler. It's not even close. And I don't see this fight being a striking fight. I think Reinier de Ridder is going to get in close. He's going to dirty wrestle. He's going to try to dirty box, use those little uppercuts, those little pop uppercuts he likes, those little check hooks. You know, try to smudge a little knee in there. Obviously, Caio's taller than Whitaker, but I think Reinier de Ridder can still sneak a couple knees in. You know, Caio's 6'1", Reinier de Ridder's 6'4". I think Reinier de Ridder's still going to be able to come in, crash in with those knees, because we haven't seen Caio Borralho have really nice dirty boxing, have really nice clinch work. He's mainly just a point fighter at distance, and he's not super dangerous. So I think Reinier de Ridder is going to be able to break the void, like Mighty Mouse would say, break the void, get in, use that tight, dirty boxing that he likes to use, and use that to set up his takedowns. So I'm going to go with Reinier de Ridder to win this fight. I'm going to say he wins this fight by decision. Wins the first 2 rounds. Maybe Caio gets a bounce back round in the 3rd, but I'm going to say Reinier de Ridder wins this fight. Maybe he finds a sub, but I do think Caio Borralho is safe enough on the ground. I think his coach is going to be freaking yelling at him. But I think Reinier de Ridder is going to get top time. I think he's going to get Caio Borralho's back. I think this is a really good bounce back fight for Reinier de Ridder, and he's a huge underdog. I'm shocked. I'm shocked, man, because I have never believed in Caio Borralho. I've never said he's top 10, never said he's top 5. I easily picked Nasruddin Imavov. It wasn't even close. People were picking Caio Borralho like he was going to be future champ. This dude is not that level. It's literally just the fighting nerds hype. And honestly, I think he's one of the worst fighting nerds. I think Rufi's better than him. I think Silva's better than him. And I think Carlos Prates are better than him. Skill for skill. I think Caio Borralho, the only thing he really has is he just has the training. That's really all he has. But I don't think he's more skillful than Reinier de Ridder. I don't think he has one strong suit, while Reinier de Ridder has the grappling. He's got that patented knee. He's got that nice dirty boxing. Caio Borralho has a nice jab, but that's about it. And I don't see him jabbing off Reinier de Ridder for 15 minutes. So give me Reinier de Ridder as the quick pick by decision. Bounce back fight for him. I think the knees will be there. I think the dirty boxing will be there. The little uppercuts, the little clinch uppercuts, the little overhand rights. I think he can tire out Caio Borralho up against the fence, get a couple trips, get the takedowns, get the back, and win a decision. So give me Reinier de Ridder as the quick pick. We move on to the fucking main event. Now, I'm going to prefix this by saying this is a biased pick. This is a very biased pick. I'm honest when it comes to fights that are biased, where I'm picking biasly based off my heart, not based off my head. And you guys know I'm picking Charles Oliveira, okay? You know I'm picking Charles Oliveira, but I am worried. Don't get me wrong. I'm very worried. Max Holloway could definitely chin Charles Oliveira. I'm going to be coming out with a video next week about the full breakdown of this fight. Unbiasedly. Right now it's going to be biased, but unbiasedly next week. Charles Oliveira dominated Mateusz Gamrot. Made it look easy. Out-grappled the grappler. Took his back. Subbed him in the 2nd round. Pushed him back. Fought him with no respect whatsoever. And I think Charles Oliveira can do the same here. But he's going to have to be careful on the feet, because Max Holloway has lighter man skill. He has lighter man skill. He has the speed. He has the pop, unlike Gamrot. And I do think he can hurt Charles Oliveira. And I think we're going to see Charles Oliveira get hurt. As much as I don't want to see him get hurt, I think guaranteed we're going to see Charles Oliveira get dropped, get hurt, eat a shot and just kind of shake it off, or just have some blood on him after the 1st round. I think Max Holloway's the way better striker. I'm going to be honest. He's the way better. It's not I think. I know Max Holloway's the way better striker. But I do believe in Charles Oliveira's grappling. As long as he doesn't get pulled into a firefight, which is the thing that I'm most worried about, because this guy has been posting online, if Max points at the ground, he's going to stand and bang with him. I don't like that. We don't like that, all right? No, Murph. Come on. No, Murph. Don't leave me, Murph. That's all I keep seeing as a gif on those kind of those IG reels, bro. Like, we cannot be seeing that, okay? Charles Oliveira, do not stand and bang with Max Holloway. If he comes in here with high IQ like he has, good game planning like he did against Gamrot, he can totally win this fight. He can hold down Max Holloway. We've never seen Max Holloway fight a pure grappler. Now, Charles Oliveira isn't a pure grappler, but he's the closest to a pure grappler that Max has ever fought. The only thing that's better than that is Arman and Islam, who Charles has fought. He went to a split decision with Arman. You know, he got finished by Islam, but pressured him well. You know, got in his face, tired him out, tried to use his skills to get to Islam Makhachev. But Islam is pound for pound number one of the best in the world, if not the GOAT of the sport. Charles has fought the best of the best forever. And Max Holloway is very good, but he's been fighting smaller guys. He's been fighting less dangerous, less powerful guys. And he beat Poirier and Gaethje, but he beat an older Gaethje and an older Poirier. Charles Oliveira beat prime Gaethje and prime Poirier and finished them both. Max Holloway couldn't finish Dustin Poirier. He got dropped by Dustin Poirier, almost guillotined by Dustin Poirier. If Dustin can drop you, Charles can goddamn well drop you, man. And he's going to drop you, and he's going to get to your back immediately. He's not going to waste any time. So I think Charles Oliveira has all the potential to grapple his way to a win, to drop Max Holloway, and find the choke. So I'm going to go with Charles Oliveira as the quick pick, as the early prediction, by submission in the third round. I think the first two rounds are going to be Max Holloway all day. I think we're going to see Max Holloway just absolutely starching Charles Oliveira, and it's going to look brutal. I think it's going to look brutal, genuinely. But I think Charles Oliveira is going to bite down. He's going to find a shot on Max Holloway to at least stumble him a little bit, take his back, and choke him out, because we haven't seen Max Holloway in those positions. Who's taken him down and gone to his back? The only pure grappler and pure submission artist he fought was Brian fucking Ortega. Brian Ortega and Charles Oliveira aren't even on the near same level when it comes to submission and BJJ. You know, Brian Ortega used to be nasty, but he isn't like Charles Oliveira. He's not as dangerous. He's not going to jump to a submission and just hunt and constantly look to finish you. Charles Oliveira will. That's why he's fighting for this BMF title, and that's why I believe he's going to be the BMF. Give me Charles Oliveira to win this fight by third round submission, drops Max Holloway, finds his back, and finds a rear naked choke. Charles Oliveira will win this fight. We are illuminated by God. Let's go, Charles. Let's fucking go. You guys know I'm excited for this card. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop it down in the comments who you guys are picking in the main event, and I will catch you guys in the next video. See you.